Welcome to IELTS Listening. Today we study IELTS 17 Test 2 Part 2, Oniton Hall. This section has 10 questions, 4 multiple choice and 6 matching questions. These questions use 2 core skills, elimination and information capture. This helps us spot traps quickly and answer more efficiently. A guide introduces Oniton Hall in 2 parts, general info and room matching. In the first part, we look at the hall's general info. This covers questions 11 to 14. In the second part, we listen for room matching. This covers questions 15 to 20. The structure is clear. Questions 11 to 14 are in Part 1, and questions 15 to 20 are in Part 2. Questions follow the recording order. Don't go back to past questions. Now, let's look at questions 11 to 14, which are multiple choice. Q11. Many past owners made changes to A. The farm, B. The house, C. The flower beds. Please pause and answer. Keywords many past owners made changes to. Expect to hear what changes past owners made to the house. Located in Information Block 1. Audio says, almost all of them have left their mark, generally by adding new rooms or by demolishing others. Signal word, left their mark, directly indicates. Trap, later the audio mentions the current owner worked on the flower beds, but the question asks about many past owners, so C is wrong. The farm looks the same, no changes, so A is wrong. Q11 answer is B, past owners made changes to the house by adding or demolishing rooms. Q12, Sir Edward Downes built Oniton Hall because he wanted to A. Continue his political career, B. Show off his wealth, C. Provide a meeting place for artists and writers. Please pause the video and try this question yourself. Keywords, built Oniton Hall because he wanted. We expect to hear the reason why he built this house. Located in Information Block 2. The audio says his intention was to escape from the world of politics and to build a new house worthy of his big collection of books, paintings, and sculptures. He broke off contact with his former political allies and hosted meetings of creative and literary people like painters and poets. Signal word, his intention was to directly introduces the purpose. Distractor analysis, option A, continue political career, is wrong because the audio clearly says escape from politics. Option B, show off wealth, is wrong because although his collection is mentioned, the main purpose was to host meetings for artists and writers, not to show wealth. Option C is correct. Q13. Visitors can learn about the work of servants in the past from A, audio guide, B. Photographs, C. Volunteers in costume. Pause to answer. Keywords, learn about, work of servants. Expect a description of how servants' work is shown. Located in Information Block 2. Audio says, photographs, of course, don't give much of an idea, so instead, as you go round the house, you'll see volunteers dressed up as 19th century servants going about their work. Signal word, instead, leads to the correct answer. Distractor. Audio first mentions audio guide was used in the past but is now replaced, then says photographs don't give much of an idea. Transition word, instead, corrects and leads to the right answer. Eliminate A and B. Q13 answer is C. Visitors can see volunteers dressed up as servants going about their work. What is new for children at Oniton Hall? A. Dressing up. B. Child-sized tractors. C. Adventure playground. Pause to answer. Keywords, new, children. Expect a description of a new activity for kids. Located in Information Block 2. Our latest addition is child-sized tractors. Signal word, latest addition, directly indicates it's new. Distractor analysis. Option A, dressing up, is an existing activity, not new. Option C, Adventure Playground, is also regular. Audio clearly says latest addition is Tractors, eliminating A and C. Q14 answer is B. Child-sized tractors are the new addition at Oniton Hall. Next, let's move on to the matching section for Q1520. Q15. Match dairy with the correct description from the options. Options: A, a place where cheese is made. B, a place where milk is sold. C, a place where butter is made. D, a place where meals are served. Please pause the video and try it yourself. The key word in the question is dairy. Prediction: the recording might talk about what the dairy used to be or what it is now. Listen carefully for descriptive verbs. Located in the information block, the audio says, it's now the place to go for lunch or afternoon tea or just a cup of coffee and a slice of homemade cake. The signal word now indicates a change of function. The key words lunch, afternoon tea, coffee, cake all point to serving meals, which matches option D. Q15 answer is D. The audio clearly says the dairy is now a place for lunch and afternoon tea, so it is a place where meals are served. Question 16. Large barn. Options: A, feed animals. B, see animals. C, see a tool exhibition. D, buy souvenirs. E, rest. F, take a class. G, have lunch. H, use tools. Please pause the video and try it yourself. Key words: large barn. Expect the audio to mention this building and then describe what activity is inside. Listen for location words and activity descriptions. Located in information block 2, the audio says, the big stone building that dominates the farm is the large barn, and in here is our collection of agricultural tools. The key phrase, collection of agricultural tools, matches option C, tool exhibition. Note, although tools is mentioned, it's a collection exhibition, not for visitors to use, so option H is excluded. Q16 answer is C. The large barn contains a collection of agricultural tools, matching option C. Q17 statement, small barn. Match it with the correct description. Options: A, see rare breeds. B, feed animals. C, see tools. D, see old photos. E, learn about farm history. F, look after animals. G, ride a horse. H, buy souvenirs. Please pause the video and try it yourself. Keywords: small barn. Expectation: the audio might talk about what you can do in the barn or its function. Listen carefully for verbs related to the barn. Let's locate the part about small barn in the audio. The audio says, there's a small barn, also made of stone, where you can groom the donkeys and horses. The signal phrase, where you can, directly tells us the function of the barn. The word groom matches option F, look after animals. Q17 answer is F. The small barn is for grooming donkeys and horses, which is an activity of looking after animals. Be careful not to be confused by option A, see rare breeds. Here, it's about grooming, not seeing rare animals. Q18. Match stables with the correct option below. Options: A, gift shop. B, cafe. C, ticket office. Please pause the video and try to match it yourself first. The key word is stables. In the audio, it might be mentioned directly or replaced by a synonym, like horsehouse. Remember, the function of the stables might have changed. Let's locate the part about stables in the audio. The audio says, the horses no longer live in the stables, which instead is the place to go to buy gifts, books, our own jams and pickles, and clothes and blankets made of wool from our sheep. So, the stables is now a place to buy things. The answer for Q18 is A. The stables has become a gift shop, so it should be matched with option A, gift shop. Question 19. Shed. Please match shed with the correct option from the list. Pause the video and try it yourself first. The key word is shed. We expect the audio to describe its location or a related activity. Option E mentions carriage ride and relaxing tour, which could be the synonyms we need to listen for. Let's locate the audio. The speaker says, outside the shed, which is the only brick building, you can climb into a horse-drawn carriage for a lovely, relaxing tour of the park and farm. The signpost outside the shed is followed by climb into a horse-drawn carriage, which perfectly matches option E's, carriage ride. The answer for question 19 is E. The audio clearly states that outside the shed, you can take a horse-drawn carriage tour, which matches option E. Don't be misled by the word shed into choosing other options. Question 20. Match parkland with the correct option. Options: A. Feed animals. B. Watch rare breeds. C. Take part in a competition. D. Learn about farming history. E. Buy souvenirs. F. Help protect animals. G. Help care for animals. Pause the video to try it yourself. Keyword: parkland. Expect to hear about activities in a park or green area. Watch for synonyms like protect matching preserve. Located in the information block, the audio says, you'll see types of cattle and sheep that are hardly ever found on farms these days. We're helping to preserve them to stop their numbers falling further. The key phrase is helping to preserve them, which matches option F, help protect animals. Note that option G is a trap. It mentions animals too, but the audio is about watching rare breeds, not caring for them. Okay, we have finished all the questions. Let's look back at the key skills we used today. Today, we saw this many times. The recording mentions a word, but then adds extra words to change its meaning. This skill is called strong distractors and modifier deviation. The key is to focus on the main noun and not get confused by the extra description. Take question 11, for example. The recording first said garden, but then it quickly added not the main garden, but the kitchen garden. If we only heard garden and chose the answer, we would fall into the trap. Another common situation is that the answer does not come right away. The speaker first gives some background and then gives the key information. This skill is called delayed information and limited modifiers. The key is to be patient and not decide too quickly. For example, in question 15, the recording talked a lot about the farm first, but the answer, cowshed, only came at the end. If we wrote down the answer too early, we would miss the correct one. Another very important skill is to notice weak pronunciation and connected speech. In IELTS listening, words are often pronounced weakly or joined together. This skill is called weak pronunciation and connected speech. The key is to get used to these sound changes. For example, in question 19, the word greenhouse was spoken very quickly. Green and house were almost joined together, sounding like one word. If we are not familiar with this connected speech, it is hard to catch it. One final reminder, these skills often appear together in the exam. For example, one question might have both delayed information and weak pronunciation. So when you practice, try to use all these skills together on purpose. Finally, let's learn some very important words from this listening passage. The first phrase is made changes to. In the recording, it was said as left their mark, adding new rooms or demolishing others. The second is wanted a place for artists and writers. The recording said hosted meetings of creative and literary people, like painters and poets. The third is learn about the work of servants from people in costume. The recording said see volunteers dressed up as 19th century servants going about their work. The fourth is new for children. The recording said latest edition. The fifth is dairy, eating, and drinking. The recording said place to go for lunch, afternoon tea, coffee, and cake. The sixth is large barn, seeing old farming equipment. The recording said collection of agricultural tools. The seventh is small barn, helping to look after animals. The recording said groom the donkeys and horses. The eighth is stables, shopping. The recording said place to go to buy gifts, books, jams, pickles, clothes, and blankets. That is all for this section. I hope it was helpful. See you in the next one.